Hi, so we're going to look at an advanced drive today. I'm just going to introduce you to a few things, give you a bit of commentary on what I'm thinking about. So I've set myself up for the drive, air conditioning set up, set the scene. We're in town centre at the moment and it is raining as well, so I'm trying to keep the windscreen clear, and there is footpaths either side of the car at the moment. There is one lady, but she's just about to walk into a house, and we've got park cars on both sides. So looking to pull away now, so a good look round. There are some people behind me, so I'm going to give them a signal. I'm going to move out from this position. I'm going to move left at the end. Now there is a lady coming into the road, so I'm going to turn left at the end. She's on the wrong side of the road at the moment, so I'm going to check my right motor to move out. There's still no one behind me. I'm going to let everybody know that I intend to turn left. Okay, eye contact with the lady on the left hand side. We'll look both ways as we come up towards this junction. Still no one behind us at this point. Continuing through here, so we're going to go left at the end. There is a lad on the pavement to the right hand side junction on the left. There's no one currently to signal to apart from the man on the right hand side. Now from reflections I can see there's a bus to my left, so I'm going to give a signal to show I'm going to turn left. One lady looking to turn in. There are no gaps at the moment, but I had to move out slightly in order to gain the view. Now there are parked cars to the left hand side at this point, so I'm just keeping an eye out. It does look like it's fairly clear after the moped that's just turning in, so I'm going to take the opportunity to go. There's some pedestrians on the footpath to the left hand side. Now as I come past the parked cars, I'm going to move out to P3/4, wide position, well past the parked cars, so I'm well away, and there's a junction on the left, so I'm going to check my left motor, move back in. I'm moving over towards the cycle lane. Now I'm not going to change up yet because my view hasn't opened up fully, although it's started to open up. There's an oncoming car. Because there's a parked car, I'm going to use the cycle lane. There's no one in it at the moment. Lady on the pavement, so I'm going to give her a little bit of room, and it bends round towards the left, so a right hand position is actually going to be a better view. Keeping an eye behind me, there is one silver Yaris. There's a car coming from the right hand side. I'm happy with him, so I'm going to come around the corner. I'm going to take the next road on the right, so I'm going to let the Yaris know that it's extremely close behind me that I intend to turn right. She's extremely close behind me at the moment, so I'm going to give her a nice long brake light signal. I'm looking into the road by the fences, just double checking it is clear. There are some parked cars clear in front, so I'm going to take the gap. And I'm looking down the road. Somebody's just opened the door down the road, especially with this lady still behind me. Just going to keep an eye on that. Coming over the speed humps quite steadily as we come over here. There's parked cars on both sides, cyclists in the distance, brake lights in the distance as well. There's junctions on both sides down here as well. Lady behind me is not quite concentrating, just keeping an eye on her. Junction, driveway, person on the right hand side. Junction pulling out there, and also we're looking to move back in. There's a cat sticking. So left motor move back into position 1, and then moving back into the centre position. There's a chap walking on the centre of the road and a cyclist at this point. Still got the lady quite close behind me. I'm just going to give a quick horn signal to the guy on the cyclist here. Right motor move back in towards the right, and we're going to turn left and then right at the junction. Now because this is a one-way anyway, I tend to signal right on this one just to let her know I intend to move to the right hand lane quite quickly. There's pedestrians potentially coming through here. I'm going to make the decision to go now. It looks good inside the roundabout as well. One Mercedes joins the roundabout. Just double checking it is clear. Staying wide for position, letting her know I intend to exit. Because she's extremely still close behind me, I do intend to pull in to let her to come past. Blind spot check to the right. I'm going to give her a long signal to say I intend to pull up. We'll see how she reacts. Yeah, she has decided to overtake me, and I'm actually going to come to a stop because there's two other cars behind me and let them come past at this point. They have noticed. So after the course has come past, I'm going to continue with the drive, signalling for the guy that's behind me as well. I'm going to continue with the drive now, at least they're in front of me. And I want to change up because I can't see over the brow of the hill. I'm going to think about brake light signals to the guy behind. I'm happy with that. Looking ahead, we've got a car coming out on the left hand side. Still got the silver Zafira coming up behind me. I'm currently nearly at the speed limit coming down the hill. The gear's holding me at the moment, so I'm happy with that at this point. Lights have just changed to green. I'm going to move out for a position for view at this point and relax the engine now. I'm expecting the lights to change shortly. We've got a lock here, and we've also got pedestrian on the right hand side waiting at the bus. Left brake to move back in. Just keeping an eye out at the crossroad. Brake light signals to the guy behind in the Zafira. He may be looking to overtake and getting angry. I'm looking both ways to check it is clear before making the decision to come through. Making the decision now, DPD to the left. High visibility to the left hand side. We've got pedestrians to the right. right. I'm at the speed limit now. Still got the gentleman very close behind me. Got the brow of the hill here at this point as somebody parks. I was going to give a signal to the guy behind to say I'm coming past the hazard on the left hand side, positioning out for view and also well away from the hazards on the left hand side. I'm going to let him know I intend to turn left and double checking the cycle lane, moving in for view, thanking him for being patient, looking to move back in, just brake light signals to the Citroen that's behind me. There is a gap, so I'm going to take it. Can't quite see to the left, so double checking it is clear. Cyclist coming out on the left hand side, quick horn signal, thank you for him. Right mirror, continuing through. In a position quite right, wide to the right hand side, change to 50 limit. Just looking around the corner, I'm trying to get the view as I'm coming down the slip road. So, because I can see people on the slip road, I'm going to give them a quick signal to the right hand side at this point. There is a van behind me. I intend to come in front of him. I'm just coming up towards the 50 limit now. So quick sideways glance as I'm moving back in. Just going to double check where he intends to go. He looks like he's moving in. Double check in front and behind. There's also a white van in lane 2 behind me as well. Again, we've got a close follower. I am at the 50-mile-an-hour limit. It looks like he's texting as well. He's looking down at the at some sort of phone or something. So I'm just going to back off so I've got an escape route to the right in case anything happens as the silver white van comes past me to the right, and then back up towards the speed limit as we come down the hill. Nobody jumping off the bridge at the moment, positioning left for the right hander and then moving out towards the right hand position on my side of the road for view of the slip road. There's no one alongside me at this point. He's keeping us fair enough gap at the moment. There is a junction coming out on the left hand side, just double checking the cars towards the left as I'm coming through, thinking about a position over towards the left for view round the right hander. You can now see the red car in the very far distance around the right hander, just double checking the junction. There's one silver Peugeot that's coming up, but I'm happy with him, he's quite a distance away. Reminds us of the 50 limit traffic lights on red at the top of the hill, skid marks on the road. Still happy with the Peugeot, he's just joining the queue behind at this point. One van coming up from behind in red at the moment, and I'm looking to move in to lane 1, and I'm going to move across to lane 1 at this point. So just having a look who's down the left hand side, just double checking. There are a few cars behind me. There's no one to the left at the moment, but there are vehicles quite close from behind. So I'm going to give them plenty of warning that I intend to use lane 1, brake lights from the van ahead. Just looking around the corner, trying to position for view around that corner as well. Happy with my speed in gear. Looking to move over towards the left hand side. Just double checking that left hand brow as we're moving across. Happy with that. I'm going to stay slightly wide of this line while away from, so I can see around the left hand bend ahead. I think the van driver's going to need to get past me at this point. There's another white van driver behind me. Now there is an issue here because I know from local knowledge the speed limit drops to 30, so I'm going to double check what the white van's doing to my right as well as behind. Brake light signals to them as they're coming up towards the hill. You can only just see the 30-mile-an-hour sign coming up on both sides of the road at this point. I'm going to take far left lane to go in towards the Britannia Stadium, so I'm going to let him know that that is the case. I've still got my brake lights on to warn, and I'm coming down to 30 mile an hour, now at the 30 limit. Moving into lane 1, I can see green traffic lights at the top of the hill, so he has got an option. He may cut me up at this point, I'm expecting that. Same with the Peugeot, just giving him some space to do it. Moving towards the right now, getting a position round the corner. I'm going to stay in this lane to exit towards the Britannia Stadium and out in that direction. So I'm at the 30 limit, I'm just about to change to a 50. We've got the Qashqai from behind. Happy with the position from the right, can use a little bit of power to move me away from the Qashqai from behind. Still got an escape route towards the right, holding the position towards the right hand side. You can see the red traffic lights at the top of the hill with a lorry at the top and a change in speed limit to the 30. Qashqai is catching up with me, so I'm going to have to let her know with brake light signals that we're now catching up towards the 30 limit. Lights have changed. I'm going to drop it down to third gear now. I've got my speed down. I do intend to go right. I'm going to let her do that right turn first of all. There's also an Audi in lane 2 as well. I'm going to tell the Audi I intend to use lane 2. Lights have just changed. You're going to see how the Audi reacts to that. He's moving into lane 2, so I'm not going to move in alongside and let him come past before I move all the way across. Moving all the way across, trying to time the lights until they change. Looking over the top of the hill where I am turning right and who's behind me. We've got a black Volkswagen Golf in the distance and a van behind. Still intending to turn right, just double checking she has seen me to the right hand side. Now I've done my slowing down, I'm going to select first gear, hoping for the lights to change, but keeping my brake lights on to warn the guys from behind. Just double checking the cars down the left hand side. There's a blue Mondeo. Just looking round towards the right, there is a gas flow truck to the right hand side. There's nobody joining me in my lane from behind. So I'm coming up towards the line. I'm going to have to stop now. So the handbrake's gone on. Considering turning off the engine, but not at the top of the select road at this point. The silver one might join me. No, he hasn't. Expecting the lights to change in 3, 2, 1. I'm going to check the mirrors just to see where they're going. Keep an eye on the blind spots. I'm going to check well inside my lane. It is clear with my signal where I intend to go. So I'm just double checking where the Audi's going here. Tells me that this is not a dual carriageway anymore. It's now two-way traffic with no central barrier in between. Because I can't see very much ahead, I'm holding the gear. I'm planning to go straight ahead out this roundabout. Just keeping an eye out who's coming at the roundabout. We've got a Volkswagen to my right, so I'm going to let him go first. He's going to restrict my view, just a touch of brakes. Happy with that. I'm going to take the option to go. Keeping an eye out on the roundabout as we come round. Do I need a signal off? Well, no one's really going to benefit from this. The pedestrian might do, so I'm going to give the signal. Coming off on this one, keeping an eye on the side mirrors. We're going to go right at the end of the road. I can justify the gear change, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to position left after the junction in case someone comes out of it. So I'm going to check the left mirror to move back in towards the left. I'm happy with my speed, but I am going to warn the van driver from behind I intend to turn right at the end of the road. So I'm going to let him know. I was a little bit early. I put that on too early because there is a junction on the right hand side. So I'm going to give him a brake light signal and reapply the signal. Keeping the brake lights on, clutch goes in, stop it from stalling. I can't choose my gear because I can't really see yet. I'm going to make the decision for first because it's quite a tight junction. I'm happy with it, it's safe to continue, so I'm going to continue through. Planning to turn left on this roundabout. There's a junction to the left, no one coming out at the moment, there's still no one behind. Just going to let the car coming out who's on a test drive, let them know I'm going to be turning left. Double checking where the blue pole's going. It looks good, so I'm going to take it through. Still got the red car from behind, he's disappeared now. Positioning right for the left hand oncoming heavy vehicle. It is still a 30 limit, we know that for the regular street lamp. So holding the position out towards the right side. There are some pedestrian cyclists to the right side, so I'm going to cover the horn, don't need it at the moment, just keeping an eye out for them. Ahead in the far distance there's somebody walking a buggy and a car coming out from the left. There's industrial buildings on both sides, so expecting to see heavy goods vehicles and such like coming out on either side. Still got the red car from behind at this point. I can see green traffic lights expecting them to change. Happy with the pedestrians, happy with the junction on the right. We have got an oncoming cyclist in the far distance and we have still got the red car from behind, so just keeping an eye out for him. He's at a fairly safe gap at this point in time. Just keeping an eye out for what he's doing because he's talking at the moment. There is a green traffic light ahead, junction on the right side, happy with that, junction on the left. In the far distance there is a heavy goods vehicle that could turn across our path. There is a high grip surface, expecting that there's been issues here on this stretch before. Brake lights from the Golf in the far distance. Expecting the lights to change as I'm coming up towards them, keeping an eye on the red car that's at a safe distance behind. I'm happy that there's nothing coming from the left, making a decision to go. Heavy vehicle oncoming, so I'm not going to stay far out on this position yet until he's come past. There are a few cars behind, including the X5. Junction on the left, no one coming out at the moment. I'm also thinking about my position over towards the right after the X5. Just going to check who's overtaking me before I take it. There is also a cyclist coming towards me at this point, just slightly over the limit, so backing off a little bit. We've also got the motorcyclist expecting him to do an overtake, screw fixed to the left hand side. Round the hill at this point, holding the position to get the view over the top, just lifting up for view a little bit. Happy with the junction on the left hand side. Just having a look for the oncoming vehicles. Move it out slightly for the central barrier there. Keeping an eye out for the guy coming out in the BMW on the left hand side. Still got the red car from behind. As he comes out, just going to give a brake light signal just in case he stalls it. I'm happy with the red car from behind now. He didn't like me putting the brake light signals on. Right mirror to move back out. We're also having a look on both sides for the pedestrian crossing here. No one's pushed the button at this point, and there's no one in the far distance looking to cross the road at this stage. It is a little bit more rainy at this point, so keeping the window nice and clear. Positioning left for the right-hander into P1. Keeping an eye for cyclists down the left-hand side beforehand. Having a look to see what's coming up ahead on the roundabout, holding it at the 30-mile-an-hour limit at this stage. Planning to go straight ahead on the next roundabout as well, so keeping an eye on the junction to the left, pedestrian to the left, van in the distance. It looks fairly slow, so it might be a bit lost on where he's going. Junction to the left, happy with that at this point. Keeping an eye on the red car from behind, there's no one behind him at this point, oncoming traffic including one van. I'm following the road ahead, brake light signals to the guy behind. I'm expecting the Volkswagen to come round from the right, going to make a decision to go now I've got my speed. There is a white Mini, but I'm happy with him. Going to let them know I'm coming off the roundabout using fixed position steering for smoothness there. Looking to go right, we'll go left on this traffic light signal actually. Car coming out from the right quickly, so covering the horn, keeping an eye on the side mirrors just in case as well. Brake light signals to let them know there's a pedestrian crossing the road, and there's also the red traffic lights ahead. Dropping the clutch, stopping it from stalling, but keeping both hands on the wheel at this point. The lights have just changed, I'm going to drop to second gear, letting everyone know I intend to turn left at this point. Just keeping an eye on the pedestrian to the left hand side. I'm going to go for a pull push around this corner, I can't quite see round it. Just double checking both ways as I am coming round, oncoming VRS, double checking the pedestrian as expected, he has crossed the road. Right hand mirror just to move out for view slightly, but I'm expecting the VRS to move out as well. The yellow car waiting to pull out from the left hand side. I do intend to turn right shortly, so just having to keep an eye on my mirrors behind. I'm happy with what's behind. There is a lorry in the far distance. I do intend to turn right, so I'm letting the guys oncome in. Yellow car is stationary. I'm going to move across towards the central position into the field, so I'm going to have to probably wait for the black one. Now I'm going to make my decision to go at this point, moving into the industrial estate on the right hand side, following it round to the left hand side and using pull push round the corner, keeping an eye on the side mirrors as I'm coming round for cyclists, looking on the road ahead and looking to pull in just after the junction on the left. So I'm keeping an eye on who's behind me at this point, double checking the junction on the left hand side, which I'm happy with, so I'm going to move into the left. Because there's an oncoming Audi, I'm going to give a signal to the left hand side. Coming to a stop, keeping an eye on the side mirrors, nice gentle stop as we come in, and then I'm going to apply the handbrake and out of gear and then cancel the signal.